Hello, welcome into this mystery reading. I'm Molly, the QuantumLeapQueen. Thanks for joining me on this reading. These readings are a timeless resource for you to come utilize whenever you need some extra nourishment in your life. So trust that if you found this reading today, there is a message here for you. I'm setting the intention, as always, to give you the best messages that you need to hear today. I am starting with the Rainbow Tarot. So let's take a look and see what we need to discuss today. I have the King of Wands and the Devil in the reverse and the High Priestess. Ooh, and Judgment. Okay, already I'm getting, because of the relationships you've had in your life, you are really good at seeing through people and through the deceptions now. And I feel like you are no longer available for trauma bonded relationships, for codependent relationships. I see that heavily here. With the Devil in the reverse and the King of Wands, it's like you can see now when someone is coming from ego versus soul, and it's just like blatantly clear, but you've had to go through the ringer to get to this point of like actually being able to see that. With the High Priestess and Judgment, it's a reminder for you to like really just trust your judgment with people these days, because you've done the prerequisite work to like really know what you're talking about, know what you know when it comes to how people make you feel and your initial gut reaction when it comes to them. Yeah. Oh, that was weird. I was like looking at the King of Wands and I swear like the eyes were like moving. I know they weren't, but like in my mind's eye they were. So it's like I just feel that you've been with people, and this could be parent, this could be partner, this could be boss, people in your life that are kind of masters of deception. And I don't think that's how you came in, and that's not the game that you like to play. But you've been around people that like to play that game a lot, and that's giving you such evidence to who you are and who you aren't. And yeah, so I just feel like when people around you are playing that game, you see it from a mile away, and these days you're like, I'm not going to participate in that, and that's my choice. And I think because of like your standards now, and because of how well you're able to see under the surface, I think this is setting you up for such an amazing life, because I had the 10 of Cups at the top of the deck, and I just see it as like you're going to get everything you want and more, because you've really balanced all the energies. I'm noticing this white dog, this black cat, and to me, that's like the balance of your masculine, feminine energies. And as well, you're going to be picking someone, if you haven't already, that is also solid in their masculine and feminine energies. And it's like two people coming together where there can just be expansive flow. Not that it's always expansive, but it's like there's a holding here of the energy of like all that you are without losing yourself, without abandoning yourself. There's such sovereignty in this relationship, and that's where you're able to build this life. And it goes beyond just a partner. It goes into platonic relationships. It goes into your soul family. Feeling so fulfilled by your life because you kept choosing truth even when it was difficult. You kept choosing yourself even when it was difficult. So because you've lost yourself and come back to yourself so many times, it's like your soul sets you up for those challenges so that you would get to this moment of I don't want to say a moment, but like to get to the life that you really wanted, which was based in truth, based in authenticity. Like the people around you, the things that you're doing is like so soul focused and soul led, and not based in the surface level or the egoic level of just like how things look on the outside. You're so much more concerned about how things are inside, and then the outside will reflect that. So it's just pointing to all the work that you've done and what you're able to do now, and how that's really setting you up for success now and in the future. What else? What else can I tell my friends? Page of Cups. What else is that? Ace of Swords. And the Sun and the Empress. Nice. You can tell now when people don't, come from respect. Like, your love is not up for debate, like it was in the past. I think in the past there was more desperation when it came to you receiving love, but now it's like no one can tell you who you are. Like, you know who you are now, and I think that's taken quite some work to get to this point of like really trusting in your own mindset and your own viewpoints. And also, I just see it as you're not giving, how do I say, you're not giving nilly-willy to anyone. You come from a place of like friendliness and authenticity, and I really feel like you are like loving to those around you, unconditionally loving to those around you, but also you have your boundaries, and you don't just like open up your world to just anyone. When people want to come into your life, they have to come with respect, and they have to come with offerings, essentially, a willingness to meet you where you are, and you can just see if people have done their inner work or not. That's where I think you are. And as well, just like knowing, because you've had like people in your past like really judge you for your points of view or tell you you're wrong. You've done a lot of work around that, and now I just feel that no one can tell you who you are any longer. No one can convince you of anything. It's not coming from a place of rigidity. It's coming from a place of knowing that you've actually done the work to get to know yourself. Not that you're not like, this isn't closed-mindedness. This is like open-mindedness, but it's like your unique viewpoints are not up for debate any longer. And you're willing to change your viewpoints. Absolutely you are. But for example, being told you're inherently wrong for believing in something is like not up for debate any longer. You're not open to that with relationships in your life. And then the Empress and the Sun, it's like, like this is such a power combo. You've had such tough spiritual lessons through your life, I feel, but they all were like prerequisite work. Like, you needed to go through those tough situations in order to like really understand your light, and how bright you are at the end of the day, and how you're a gift, like, and that the people in your life closest to you, they're gonna see that you are that. And they're going to honor you and cherish you for that. So because of who you are, you're attracting more abundance and light into your life. But I also feel like you attract the opposite, of course. But it's like you're no longer available for the opposite to linger in your life. You've done a lot of the prerequisite work up front, and now it's kind of more of the reward time where you get to bask in all of the work that you've done. Not that there aren't challenges and tough things, but the foundations are there now of like knowing who you are and not having your worth be up for debate any longer. So that's what I'm seeing. Okay, let's start with some oracle messages. I'm going to start with the Shamanic Healing Oracle. I haven't used this one in a while. Curious. What's the best message from my friend from this deck? Oh, that was quite a bit of cards. I had like one or two. Por favor. What's the best? Patience is a virtue. Best. Oh, there we go. Two of them. We have masculine energy, and we have honoring your energy. Oh, interesting. So, two energetic cards here. Interesting that the masculine is out here. And I'm noticing there's two suns. There's a sun here, there's a sun here. And then there's this plant growing. So it could be that the masculine energy in general has been a theme in your life. Like, I mean, both energies are a theme, of course, but maybe lately you've really been looking at your own masculine energy. Maybe you have a new masculine energy coming into your life. There's something here I'm hearing of like the masculine is now solid, like within yourself. So perhaps it's opening up to a new masculine energy, or you yourself are just feeling like much more solid and grounded about the masculine, which is more of the doing in your life. Yeah, so you'll take this as it resonates, but I see it as like actually being able to be like seen and witnessed by your own masculine, and not being afraid to like speak up and like do the things that you want to do with this healthy masculine in your life. Coming back to balance between your masculine and feminine energies, and opening up to relationships where people are also balanced in both. That's what I feel with these two. Also, because it's so much sun, perhaps like make sure you're getting enough sunlight in your life if you can help that, depending on location. Okay, let's move on to the Mystic Mondays Astro deck. Curious to get some astro messages for you. Thank you. I have Lilith. Ooh, nice. And we have the 9th house. Nice. Okay. So, Lilith. If you don't know Lilith, I highly recommend looking up Lilith just to find out about her archetype. But essentially, she is the balance between the masculine and feminine energies that we were just touching on. She was, Adam and Eve. She was Adam's first wife. And she wouldn't submit to Adam. So she left the Garden of Eden, was banished, essentially. So there could be an underlying wound for you for feeling like rejected for being who you are, a sovereign individual, balanced in both your feminine and masculine energy. But of course, with the 9th house, this is the higher wisdom of it. This is understanding like you were never too much. That you're triggered to those people that aren't owning both their feminine and masculine and their sovereignty, that you trigger them. And maybe that's like why you're banished, but then you get into groups of other people that are also claiming their sovereignty and their feminine masculine duality. So it's saying like, perhaps you're having higher perspectives now about the energy that you hold and embody, and the wisdom that you gain from not being accepted, to be real. Like not being accepted. I think that the adversity, I got this fortune cookie one time and it's just stuck with me because it hit so hard. It was like, adversity is the prosperity of the great. And I just feel that's so great, like so heavily. That's what it is. She was like the ultimate, like thrown out of the Garden of Eden because she didn't like lay down for Adam when he wanted her to, and like that's you. It's like you claiming your sovereignty. You're saying no, you're standing on business, and like when you go up against the norm, when there's that friction, that's the adversity, but then that ends up being the prosperity, right? Because the power that you hold in that moment, like then it reminds you of who you really are, and how you don't need to fall in line, how you can rise above it, even if you're on your own, even if you're on a different playing field than other people. Then I do think it benefits you greatly. As well, the 9th house can be about long distance travel, so this is just an extra message to say perhaps you are either traveling right now or thinking about traveling. I think that would be good for your energy too. If you ever feel too stagnant, I think that would be good for your energy to travel if possible. Get a change in perspectives. I know for me, like I moved from the US, from Minnesota to Mexico, and my whole life has changed because I made that decision 3 years ago. And now I'm basically living like a snowbird life. I'm in Mexico half the year and back home in Minnesota half the year. And my whole perspectives on life have changed, and I feel so much more in my Lilith energy here. That I'm not as crazy because there's more Lilith energy all around me here, I feel. So that's that message. Let's move on. I'm going to pull from the animal deck next. Let's do this. Best message for my friend from this deck. It's in you. Nice. This is 24. The Not So Cowardly Lion. In the story of the Wizard of Oz, the Cowardly Lion traveled to the Yellow Brick Road to get to the Emerald City to request what his heart most longed for, courage. Little did he know that during his entire frightening journey, he already possessed that which he sought so desperately. For in his heart there roared a courage that was always his to claim. The Cowardly Lion needed the outer journey to understand that what he most desired was always within. What you seek, too, you have within you. Do not give up the journey. Persevere and endure the uncertainty. Remember that having courage does not mean you are fearless. It means you do the thing despite being scared. Cowardly Lion, who now has transformed into Confident Lion, shares his medicine with these questions. What if everything you've been searching for is not only right in front of you, but is in you? What if everything you've been chasing outside of yourself was the part of you that you couldn't see within? What if you were looking in others to find the you that was screaming to be self-actualized? What if every beautiful quality you deeply want, you already possess? What if the sweep you off your feet love is your own love within reflected back to you? What if the gift you have been waiting to actualize was crying out, I'm right here, please, please, please see me? What if this whole entire time it was you that you were searching for? What if you chose you and stopped waiting for others to choose you? What if you stopped running towards external validation to prove your worth and instead went within and became yourself? So that's that message. All the reflection. And it's like everything we're like craving, everything we even like, let's say, get jealous of, or like anything we're desiring outside of us. It's like we're just like simply not allowing ourselves to experience that internally. Everything's a projection anyway, so like, it truly is like inside out. And I love the part of like doing things even when you're afraid. Like I have been pretty fearless most of my life, but I did have a moment of fear before flying to Mexico on a one-way, like by myself, after I had just sold everything, all my possessions, and I sold my car, I sold my furniture, I got out of my one-bedroom apartment, lived with my parents briefly, and I was like, okay, I'm making a full send. My intuition told me to come here, so I'm just following it to a new country where I didn't know anyone. And I'm just a young gal, It was scary. But I'm so glad I did it because it all worked out in the end. I love living here. So doing the thing despite being scared, I think that's a good reminder. And it was also like through that journey of, being here and having the contrast of here in Minnesota, I feel like I got to recognize that location doesn't matter. Like inside here is what matters most. And that's where I came home to myself even more through this journey. is by fucking around and finding out like who I really am, taking challenges, like doing the thing, because I don't want to regret not doing something at the end of my life. So it's so important to just do things, like listen to your intuition, like honor your intuition by taking the action. So that's that message. Lastly, my friend, I'm going to pull from the I Create My Reality deck. I always have the decks listed below in the description. What's the best message for my friend from this deck? Okay, we got two. One of them is happiness is balance. I am empowered by happiness. Being happy goes beyond simply feeling pleasant emotions. It is proven that keeping your mind in a joyful state for 24 hours, avoiding anxiety or anger, improves your mental function and keeps you balanced. When you are in balance, you are in power. When you keep joy in your heart, you open yourself up to great possibilities and growth, even in difficult moments. Be focused, be happy, be balanced. Nice. I like that. Yeah, it's like the Tao way, you know, like the Buddhist way. It's like the middle way, the balanced way, because you're going to have the extremes on both. But if you can ride that middle wave, then you're truly happy. And I'm thinking about, like, even if I talk about like plant medicine for a second, I've noticed like even, I've done plant medicine like a handful of times in my life. And I've noticed that people even, they hold on to like, I wish that this feeling would last forever, like when they're on the medicine. But something I guess maybe it's because I've been working a lot on this balance is I don't wish that. Like when I'm in that moment, it feels incredible. And it's like, I'm so grateful to experience this. But I know it's not going to last, and I know it shouldn't last. And so I'm able to like be fully present and just experience it without attaching to it. Yeah, so maybe that can help someone to always not be chasing the highs or avoiding the lows. It's really simply about the middle way, and understanding that they come and go, and that all of it is the facet of life, and obviously we need both to experience it, any of it. So staying centered through that. This other one is to believe is to create. Ideas are the roots of creation. I see endless opportunities before me. You will see it when you believe it. If you want a door to a new reality, you must create that door within your beliefs and then open it. The act of creation is deep within our true nature. If you can imagine it, you can achieve it. To believe is to create. Oof, so good. And I 100,000,000% agree. And it's like, gosh, you have to face all of your shadows and all of your self-doubt in order to expand your belief systems. It's kind of an uncomfortable thing because it's like familiar to like stay small, for example, but it really does challenge you momentarily to expand in your belief systems. And of course, if you don't believe it, then who's gonna believe it? Life is constantly telling you yes, like yes and yes. So if you're saying like I'm not worthy, it's like yes, you're not worthy. So you have to really take the radical responsibility and like do the work to change belief systems. Joe Dispenza is an excellent example of the work you can do. His work around meditations and visualizations, like that's a really excellent tool to start to rewire your neurons, to rewire your brain, to open up new pathways of beliefs. And it takes a little bit of work and consistency, just like anything else. But that it's totally possible for you to change things up and yeah, open up the frequency pathways for then there to be matches with you and what you truly believe in. So do you have the courage to really like stand up and believe in what's possible for you? So that's it. That includes your reading. I hope it brought you nourishment and confirmation for where you are on your journey. come on back whenever you need more nourishments. You can like, subscribe, comment below how this reading resonated with you. And as well, I have my link down below to work with me. So until the next reading, guys, we'll see you then.